Yo, what up, people? Smith motherfucking R here today, of course, to give you guys Machine Doll wa Kizutsukanai episode 3 motherfucking review. And you know what? I gotta say, I got this anime. It gets 21 minutes, and it uses these minutes to the fullest. Like every scene usually has either some information or has some relevance to the story. There's not really like any useless, scenes throughout the entire anime so far, from what I've seen, especially this episode. I mean, there weren't really any useless scenes at all. Except if you wanted to, you could count the one where she was kind of just walking through the forest. But then that was for a reason. She was looking for this machine doll, so she could capture it, because she thought that it was possibly carnival. She was wondering what was. Anyway, fuck it. Anyway, let's just do a really quick summary. Okay, so basically it starts off Rai-shin running. He looks and he finds that the carnival has a fucking attacked again. And he's looking at the doll, and there's a flash, and it looks like Yaya, but it turns out that it isn't, so he's relieved. And so, from there, before he goes back to his apartment, there's a scene with Charlotte and Felix. And basically, it's Felix telling her to stay away, and you already made your choice. You want Rai-shin. I don't want to see you right now. Basically trying to urge her away, and she ran off crying. Rai-shin had some words with Felix, what the fuck you doing? It's well, I just wanted to make sure that she stayed off this case, because I don't want her to get in trouble. Didn't say shit about the whole, you choosing Rai-shin. No, he didn't say nothing about that. And then it proceeds on, where Rai-shin, he goes back to the apartment, there's Yaya, she's made dinner, and he just hugs her, and he was so worried about her. And they're crying, and it was pretty good. It was a good scene. I'm not gonna, I was somewhat into it. I was yo, this dude really treats his doll like a person, which a lot of other people don't do, and I'm really enjoying that. And then from there, basically he gives her a present, which are some new boots. She puts them on, and then he gets a call, and this call is from the vice president, I believe, and she's basically asking where Charlotte is, because she's not home yet. She's in the dorm. They don't know what's going on with her. And later on, we find out that they found evidence in her fucking room of Eve hearts, and so they're looking to apprehend her, because they believe that she's possibly carnival or working with him, and maybe she herself or Bandal is the one that's doing all this. But we figure out that Rai-shin, believe it or not, using thinking ahead, he asked her on a date for a reason. And that was to labor out as a suspect, because she was with him the entire time. And Yaya was with, this dragon motherfucker. So it don't matter. So she's been leveled out of his mind. She didn't do it. In his opinion, she didn't do it. And then he goes out, he's about to go out searching for her. And guess who he runs into? Shoko. Again, yo. We finally meet this person, Shoko, who created Yaya. She basically comes in, and basically what she does is she unlocks Yaya's full hidden potential. She basically powers, she removes the limiters inside of her. And there was a nice conversation. We got a little bit in on his backstory, Rai-shin, about how he's the last person surviving of the Akabane clan. He's the last survivor, and apparently it turns out that the person that he's trying to kill is Mr. Tenzin. And I believe that's his brother. From what we heard, we can possibly assume that it was his brother, and that's who he's trying to kill. Maybe because something about cursed blood, and the fact that she even warned him that this doll could devour him. There's possibility that his brother got rage, lust with power, and killed his entire fucking family. I don't know. I don't. But I cannot wait to see exactly what completely happened. At first I thought it was this masked nigga, but I'm not sure. It doesn't look like Magnus is Mr. Tenzin. And basically he leaves to go out to look for Charlotte. And believe it or not, as she's leaving, they bring up two important notes. One of them being that her doll is worried whether or not he'll be able to control it. And this is what leads to like the flashback where he's like a kid and he's trying to control this doll in the fucking woods during winter, and she just walks by him, she introduces herself, she shows off Yaya's ass, like legit, like. But the thing is, he could be devoured. And she's like, no. Shoko's like, no. She's strong enough. He's a very strong person. He has a lot of hidden potential. And I am waiting to see them. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I want to see what this dude can do. I really do. In the second... Well, no, fuck. I already said the first. The first was Mr. Tenzin. The whole fact about when he finds out the truth behind all this, he's probably going to really hate Shoko. So that leads to believe that there's some type of something that he doesn't understand yet that happened. And I cannot wait to figure out what that is. And then basically he's running out. He runs into Vice President. It's like, oh, well, she's like, well, we're looking for Charlotte. We found this shit in a room. And so basically he doesn't believe it's Charlotte. And he's like, okay, since I'm active member of the disciplinary committee, you know, I'm working on this with you guys. Why don't you take me to the lockers? And apparently lockers are where they keep, like, automatrons and stuff. Like each person like who has their own like little section of automatrons, they get their own little fucking locker and it's just filled with them. And so basically they get to the fucking locker, and I'm just gonna go with the locker part, and then I'll get onto the whole Felix thing, and then what happens. Okay, so fine. So with the locker part, basically Yaya has to stay outside because there are a whole bunch of precious automatrons and she could wreck shit. That's her excuse for leaving her outside. And so they go up. She uses a key to open up Felix's locker because he suspects that Felix might have did it, or so we thought. But no. Turns out he grabs the key right from her and runs to her locker, which I did not see coming one bit. Like, I did not see that shit coming. Like really? And basically, the drive behind it was, we got a reiteration of what they said inside that fucking maze. Again, a maze is not a great place to talk about shit. No, it is, but it isn't. Because technically speaking, a nigga could be right on the other side of the bush and you would not know. And, I mean, it's just like a little opening, so, I mean, you know, there's fucking, it isn't like a fucking closed maze. So I'm assuming maze might not be the best place for a secret meeting. I'm not sure. Because it seems like it has advantages and disadvantages. Fuck. Anyway. So basically, he's like questioning her, like, how did you know what type of automatron it was? Because its legs were crushed, and you can't tell because it was like a bolus. And apparently, it's like has distinct features on its legs, except the legs were crushed. And so he assumed you had to be there and you had to see it. And I was like, oh my god. He opens up like one of the automatrons, and it turns out to be the corpse of the vice president. In she comes, whoops this nigga's ass, kicks his ass to the side, breaks his fucking ribs, closes the fucking thing while security's rushing in, tells them to capture Yaya, and capture him because he's been working with Carnival. And I'm like, damn, they got this nigga. And we find out that she is the band doll that's apparently been doing all this. And then, from there, get ready for this. Yeah, she's like bleeding, head on the fucking ground. She's like knocked out, apparently, from what we think. In Rai-shin, he's just going behind this fucking stretcher, broken ribs. He's like unconscious. His hand just falls down. And I don't know if he did it on purpose or not, but Yaya just had a massive fucking power up. It was, what's going on? Fucking beam of light in the fucking air. And so Yaya, she's like powering the fuck up. And I'm assuming Rai-shin played dead until he got close enough to Yaya to activate his magic and give it to her. Because there is a distance that you have to be to your puppet in order to give it magic. You just can't be like, fuck it. And like, they're miles away doing shit. No, fuck that. It don't work like that. And so, that's that part. The locker. And we don't know where the vice president went. But she got the fuck out of there. And then we got the whole thing with Charlotte. She's walking through the woods. She's looking for Carnival. She sees this thing. She wants to capture it alive. She sees this automatron. It's like a fucking dog. She wants to capture it alive, and so she uses like her laser beam thing, and it just shoots lights like fucking sabers. Oh my, what do they call it? Oh my god, from Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh my god, that fucking like swords of compelling light or some shit. I can't remember what the fuck it's called, but you know what the fuck I'm talking about. When you put this, it's like you can't move 3 turns. Basically, she did that on this motherfucker. Nigga was pinned down, and then as she walks out there, lights, Felix. Like, yeah, this is a trap. We know you're carnival. And she's just shocked by all this. Then the beam of light, like I mentioned previously, came up, and so we sent all these dudes over there. And when it was just him and her, because apparently these automatron showed up. So he's like, I can take care of this. So everybody's gone. He's like, basically he reveals that he set her up, and he's been doing this because he wants to become the king of this world, you know, this magical world. He wants to become the wise man, or a wise man. And so he's been doing this to take out the competition, and she's just crying. His doll. In this, I gotta talk about this for a minute. His doll, apparently, is like a Renaissance doll. But then, if he's Carnival, then who's his vice president? If she's also a band doll, does he have like 2 dolls, like the vice president? He killed the bitch and then had this band doll take over her, like, you know, her look. And he also has his Renaissance style, or is the vice president his Renaissance style? I'm not sure. That hasn't been explained yet. But what we do know is that his doll, this one that's right next to him, it has a mask on, so I cannot tell if it's the president or not. Or the vice president or not. Or the fake vice president. Fuck, I don't care. Bitch is dead, so it don't matter anymore. She's dead. She's done. She's been in a fucking cooler for like maybe months. She done. If he would have said corpse, I'd been like, maybe she has a chance, but no, fuck that. She dead. And so basically, its ability happens to be something that we learn about previously, because basically, before Rai-shin leaves, and I'm bringing this up now for a certain reason, basically figure out that Yaya is weak to some things, including water and wind. And so if they fight, you know, machine dolls with water or wind, then Yaya will be at a disadvantage because she has physical strength that can't be matched. It's matchless. But the thing about it is that when she's playing against something that she can't really grasp or destroy, you know, using brute power, because it's, you know, it doesn't really have like a physical form, or, you know, it isn't really, you know, something she can damage. Like, you can't punch water and the water says ow. No, it don't do that. Your fist just goes into the fucking water. You can't punch the fucking air and you just hear, ah! No, that shit don't happen. So it makes sense. And also about the fact that, it also brings up another fact about Rai-shin and how he took on these dolls himself, and apparently if he wanted to, he could obliterate it and destroy them. But because he sees them as humans, he decided instead to decapitate their ass. Just saying. But if he wanted to, he could have went for the heart and killed him. But instead, because he has compassion. And so the thing is, their ability, his doll's ability from like the Renaissance era or whatever, fuck it. Basically, what it does is it like condenses water into ice, and then it throws it. That's what we've seen so far anyway. So it makes this fucking ice. And I'm assuming now that it's water, Yaya's gonna be at somewhat a disadvantage if it is actually water and not ice. But we'll have to see. Cause I was like, oh shit, this is doing water. Oh fuck. But it might be ice. But still, we'll see. Basically throws it at her. She's crying on the fucking ground. Her dragon has to step up and take the hit for her. He's like, bitch, give me the magic already. Like, legit, there's a hole right through this. The ice went right through his small body. He barely managed to stop it. Just think about that. Like, that went through his entire body. That one little small thing. Because she didn't give his magic. Because she was in all types of emotional distress. All types. And then charge up again. Throw. She's about to die. Out of nowhere. In come Rai-shin and Yaya. Just break that fucking shit. Felix. It's go time. Episode ends. And I'm digging it. I am. Basically, he did say some stuff to Charlotte. Yeah, I like the way it ended. There. Breaks in there. Like, yeah, it's go time up. Like, I can't wait to see this. Because we're getting a fight next episode for sure. And the disciplinary committee. they're gonna be outmembers the show. I mean, I'm waiting to see what this thing can do, aren't you? Like, because there have been so many hints to his like power, like his clan that he's the last member of, by the way. So it makes it even fucking weirder about Mr. Tenzin. I don't know who he is. Probably not his brother, but we'll see. Mr. Tenzin apparently is responsible for the deaths, though. Did Mr. Tenzin change his name to Magnus, or is Mr. Tenzin like a high up, like a wise man, like a previous wise man, so you had to become a wise man in order to meet him and fight him? I don't know. But either way, I really enjoyed this episode because I mean there weren't really any wasted scenes. I mean, everything really had a purpose. It was all, it was giving us information. It wasn't really lacking in anything, really. I mean, the animation, I enjoyed it. The plot twist was, oh my, I definitely didn't see that shit. Like, it's legit, just, oh my god, really? Like, I thought Carnival was going to be so, like, weird motherfucker. No, to be honest, when he first walked out the room and he saw Shoko, I thought that was Carnival. I was like, oh shit, like, it's about to be a fight. No, apparently it was Shoko. So, Felix has been mind-fucking the shit out of Charlotte. Vice President is dead. Felix is about to engage in battle with Rai-shin. And I cannot wait for this shit or next episode. So with that being said, I'll give this episode right here 9 out of 10, yeah. Solid, good episode. There were no down points. Everything, it has 20 minutes. It has its 21 minutes, and it uses those effectively to give us information. No bullshit scenes. No. I haven't seen any yet, so I'm digging it. I mean, they could start showing like some in the future, but I don't really see a reason why to when they, they're not a really long anime that's based on like a big one like has hundreds of episodes and shit. No, it can basically cut out shit. It can cut out shit if it wants to and make it just a nice story with complete information. So with that being said, Smith to motherfucking on. Peace the fuck out.